Youth suicide prevention practice is the comprehensive application of activities including community-wide preventative interventions and measures, and also direct interventions that focus on treatment for one client and their individual needs. A useful facet of prevention that is currently being implemented in some Indigenous communities is community capacity building, which is best applied with a ground up approach, beginning within the community and focusing on their values and their ways of knowing. Indigenous control and enrichment within Indigenous communities is what contributes to the aspect of decolonization within this community capacity building. What is really important about best practices for community practice building is to use critical thinking about the outsider perspective that support networks that come in to assist these communities have, and to remember that it really should be ground up and that it's important to do a lot of listening, and based on that listening, help the community implement the decisions they want to make, and to always be listening and always be curious and asking questions to ensure that that community capacity building truly is unique to that community and its strengths and its culture. Certain evidence-based practices that have been implemented for suicide prevention strategies within Indigenous communities are cognitive behavior therapy, as well as some other Western concepts of suicide prevention. They've been found to be useful when they're delivered in community integrated models and when they hold focus groups and committees to determine what the areas of need are for this community and what the most critical needs are for the youth in that community. So, coming in with a blank slate and an open mind and taking that evidence based practice, but adapting it to that community by, again, listening and hearing people's opinions, thoughts, and needs before attempting to implement anything. When dealing with Indigenous youth, it's really important to have a youth centered approach, and that means that practitioners are going to be involving the youth in the development and in the delivery of their strategies, whether that's assisting them in community based activities or choosing for themselves areas of focus, involving them and letting them have a stake in it is going to boost the success of the intervention strategies. So those were all factors that were contributing to the success of the adapted and modified approaches that are typically delivered as evidence-based, such as cognitive behavior therapy and other forms of talk therapy and Western treatment concepts.